Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
So are you ready to record a podcast?
Yeah, maybe. If I can stop watching Defenders long enough to record a podcast, it's a real problem.
So this is Superlates number 35.
Woohoo!
That feels like a milestone. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's an even.
Yeah.
It's a not an even number.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's 35 that's a good number. Just
Wait
wait till we get to 36. 36 will be extra special for no reason.
We are discussing The Defenders episodes 4,
Four.
5, and 6.
4, 5, 6.
And we'll have
Yay!
full spoilers. So if you haven't watched through episode 6, why do you even listen to us? I totally get not being able to watch them all in the first week or something, but you know, if you haven't gotten to 4, 5,
Yeah, we're on this is week 3. This will be week 3, right? Like by Friday. Yeah, you should be through by now. I've seen it 5 times, so come on.
Time is a blur. I have no idea. Before we get into The Defenders, I have seen Inhumans.
And
I ended up in Civilization on Friday at the most expensive IMAX theater ever. Ended up paying $20
how much was it? Was it like $28 or something?
$20 to see a matinee of a 75-minute presentation that will be on network television.
Yeah, and that was with no like refreshments, or was that?
No, I didn't. After that, I almost always get popcorn because I go to the movies so infrequently, and I usually make it dinner and just have popcorn for dinner.
Yeah.
No, that is not. On the flip side, up here so I was down in Albany, and that's where it was $20, and I just walked past the popcorn. I was just like, no, I am not giving you guys any more of my money. Up here in the Adirondacks, there is one theater in town. They only take cash. It's $7 for all movies. It might be $6 for a matinee.
That's cheap.
I went to see The Hitman's Bodyguard. I paid $15. Ticket, popcorn. I got a bottle of water because I was thirsty. $15 total. It was fantastic. And then I went into the little theater, and it like held 56 people. And it was just amazing. Anyway,
so were there at least 56 people watching Inhumans with you?
Oh no, there were 7.
In the
counting me.
In the big Oh my god.
I mean, granted, this
in
is
the theater that holds how many people?
Hundreds. I mean, it was an IMAX theater.
Ugh.
It was a 2:30. I mean, it was 2:30 on a Friday. Because I got off work a little bit early. Because I started my workday at the crack of dawn. Well, actually, I still had 4 hours of driving that were technically my workday. But it was 2:30, and there were about 6 other people in the theater.
So not bad. Okay,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you this. Would you have felt any differently if it had been 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that had shown in IMAX? Would you have been like more pumped because it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, I'm trying to like sort of diffuse some of the Inhumans hate by going, people, if it was 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know that anybody would care.
Well, and a lot of people have pointed to the first 2
was there
episodes
anything
of Agents
that was
of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, the first 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't remember them, but people have been pointing out that they were pretty bad. So...
Yeah, I don't remember them either.
But
so that's what I was talking about this week with my friend.
Yeah, so the thing about Inhumans is that the first 2 minutes of the show is awful. And it's so very awful. Like, the sound is off. I talked about a little bit of in the Marvel News Desk. The MCU Exchange podcast is now the Marvel News Desk podcast. I was trying to figure out the way they were focusing on sounds and like water splashing off of things. I was like, is somebody here supposed to have Daredevil powers? Like, are we supposed to be listening to these things? Like, or, you know, are you trying to convey something to us? And it didn't end up having any reason. It was just like, we're in IMAX. Look at this. Zoom in on water splashing. But But once you get past those 2 minutes, there's there's royal sex, and it starts to feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it feel at least as good as any other network superhero show?
So I don't watch as many of the DC shows as you. So our buddy Mike said it is, or he said it was like a CW soap opera DC show.
Yeah. Because I've just seen people that I haven't any, I've seen like some retweets from the Inhumans account of people that like loved it, but most it's just people like, it's not as bad as people say, or you have people go, don't even go see it at all. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, set your expectations low and you won't be disappointed. I have hope. I have hope that the rest of the series, maybe some of the things that didn't make sense, will just be seeds that are being sown for things that'll be explained later. And it's just awkward, but it's kind of meant to be awkward. Is I think part of the issue. Everybody has weird accents, but they're supposed to live on the moon. So,
well, that's very Game of Thronesy to me, because nobody on Game of Thrones has the same accent either. And I just sort of look over that.
Yeah.
Even people who are supposed to have grown up in the same area don't sound the same. So I just wish they would have let like Maximus talk in his real like Maximus voice.
Right. So I say at the end, maybe we record another quick podcast about Game of Thrones to throw in.
Okay.
But let's talk about the Defenders, because...
Let's talk about the Defenders.
All right, so we've given enough time for anybody that hasn't watched to pause,
turn this off,
and go watch. So there's a lot that happens in these 3 episodes, but it's a good stopping point to talk about.
Yes,
and,
when we... Yeah.
So the gang
episode 6
together. All 4 of the heroes come together. I mean, so these are just like the high points. And we were talking there's 2 other great podcasts that go through episode by episode and talk about everything. And we will never stop talking about the Defenders. It'll be like 2 years from now and we'll be like, oh my God.
That will still be. I'll go back and one moment will stand out for some reason. It'll be, oh my God, I went back and rewatched this moment. Yeah.
But in these 3 episodes, we get the Defenders coming together and deciding if...
over Chinese food.
Yeah. And Stick comes in to be the daddy defender.
Yay, Stick!
And I actually... So how do you feel about Stick? I mean, he almost became likable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He did. I mean, if not for Stick in episode 4, really kind of... What was I going to call it today? Handsplaining some things. I don't know that we would have understood some of the stuff that was going on. It took Stick going and sitting down and going, let me tell you this story. And Danny like being like, oh, yay. And everybody else being like, oh, Matt rolling his eyes. I was like, oh, fuck. I won't listen to this shit again. But yeah, no, I think I don't know how they do it without Stick.
And yeah, I really felt for Stick. So we get Stick explaining everything to the Defenders. We get everybody, sort of going on. So, and Marco Ramirez has come out in interviews and said he didn't try to make all of the Defenders interact. He tried to make it Luke and Danny and Matt and Jessica. And that's what we got.
Yeah, especially early on, that's what we got. A little, you really don't get much Matt and Luke. You probably get more Matt and Danny going forward than you do Matt
I feel like
Luke.
Matt and Luke barely know each other at this. I mean, even...
And Luke and... Jessica and Danny, you don't get a lot... You get none of that, really.
Yeah, which is probably best for Danny's safety.
But it felt... That's cool, though. You don't want anything forced, and it felt natural that way. Of course, everybody wants heroes for hire. That's what we want. So I think if any 2 that we wanted pushed together, it was Luke and Danny anyway. Because Danny needs a friend.
He does.
He's just looking for his family, Rhiannon. He's just looking for his family.
I know. And he needed a guy friend. He needed a guy friend because Claire and Colleen are great, but he needed just like a bro.
Yes. Oh my God, I know. And Matt in the restaurant, watching Matt struggle with, well, first of all, one of my favorite lines when they're early on, when they're first busted in the restaurant and they're letting the blind man secure the like perimeter, is like hilarious to me. And Matt busts out with "I still hear neon" is it's like the best line ever.
Yeah.
You know, and just Luke going like, what the what? Well, that's my blind, maybe not blind, like lawyer, but then later on when Jessica pulls him aside, like, look, I know who you are. And Matt's struggling with, what do I do here?
Well,
I'm involved, but do I want to be involved?
And at that point, like, Matt, Jessica has already announced that you're her attorney. Like, that's going to take them 5 minutes to figure out.
Yeah. Right. And you've made no effort to like uncover your face because you're hiding your face, but yeah, your eyes are covered. So
yeah,
you're already in this. You're all in. And just when he takes it off and he walks over there and hands her the scarf back, it's like, okay, fuckers, my name's Matthew. Let's do this.
Yeah. I love it so much.
Yay, Matt. I love it. And then, you have a moment where Jessica, is like, I can't be a part of this, and she leaves. And I love it when Danny, because Matt's like, no, she's not coming back. And Danny's like, did you use your superpowers? And Matt's like, no, I met her. I know her, so she's not coming back. I just love little lines like that. So cute. Do you use your powers?
Like, were you listening?
No, it's just Jessica.
Yeah. You've met her for 5 minutes. Obviously, you should know this.
What I was trying to figure, and what was going on with the hand at this? Oh, okay, yeah, that's when they were waiting on Bakuto to like show up, right? Wasn't Bakuto like the last one just supposed to be coming, and they were waiting on him to like show up, and Alexandra's like, we got to like get our. I've got a plan. By the way, if you hear crying in the background, it's not a baby, it's the new kitten, and he's outside the door. And he will get louder and very demanding.
You're
so
not letting the kitten podcast?
I can't let the kitten in because the kitten will destroy everything. The kitten is like the hand.
Well, if you hear a baby crying on my end, it's just the loud people in my hotel.
It's just a baby.
It's just a baby. Yes, I've locked one in the closet.
So Alexandra then though decides to like go to this restaurant and like crash their party, right?
Yeah, because they had the blind man secure the premises. She was just able to sneak right the fuck in. Like, nobody pointed that out. Like, way to go, Matthew. You secured the premises, and now this man
I love it. I love that. That is the greatest. We got to make this place look closed, and the restaurant guy goes, it is closed.
Well, and then I love that, like, they're all like, nobody can know, and there's, like, 5 people in the back of the restaurant still just, like, producing food. Like, they're all done eating.
And I've now, having watched the whole series, I bet, like, Matt and Jessica really wish they had sat down for one last good, like, meal.
Right?
Because that's really the last time they get to sit and, like, eat. So poor little Danny, who has to recharge his chi, and it takes so much. Bless him. No wonder he can only keep that, like, fist, like, flickering a little bit. He's hungry.
True. But he ate at least in the restaurant. Matt's all like, no.
No, we can't do this.
Eat.
Matt never eats. Jessica never eats. She only drinks. And we get Matt, like, not telling the whole truth. Surprise! Matt only revealing what he thinks is relevant to the story. Like, do you know this chick that I fought in Cambodia and that, like, tried to kill the architect? Nope. Nope.
No.
Yeah. No, don't.
Yeah, I've certainly never slept with her.
No.
For her.
Fought the hand with her. Nope.
She's definitely never died in my arms.
Never.
No.
Worst liar ever. They just don't know this. They're all together, except for Jessica when she leaves, but then comes back at the end. Like, yeah, that was I was like, my heart exploded when Jessica came back. It's like, miss me? Oh.
And then, like, the car crashes through, and I'm like, oh my god, they made Jessica drive a car. Did they not watch any of the other series? And then it dawned on me that she threw the car. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she just slung that car through there.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay, Jessica! Yeah, and that's pretty much like episode 4, right? That's how it ends. Yeah, with
Right?
Jessica.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of episode 4. Was it the one that we got? No, it was episode 3 that we got the extremely long Elektra backstory that I timed. It was 17 minutes of Elektra backstory in episode 3. Before you got to
episode
anything.
4 was Chinese food and like getting more background on what they're doing and how, the 5 fingers of the hand, who they all are, and that kind of, but not really knowing what they want with the Iron Fist.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean, except for just cryptic. I feel like those episodes is just like so much little cryptic, like Alexandra is extremely old. There is something extremely mystical. Da da da. So episode 5, they move on to
episode 5. Hold on. Okay, because it ends. 4 is also Luke getting like hit by the truck. You see him? That's
That's right.
Right? Or is that 5? I'm so confused. Anyway, Luke ends up getting hit by a truck in one of these episodes.
Luke gets hit by a truck, and they go to the dojo.
And Matt and Elektra fight, and you can tell like Matt's just all out of his. This is fucking him up bad. But Elektra doesn't kill him again. So does Matt have a point? Is she still in there? I don't know. But it's great. It's great watching Matt struggle with that. And they end up at the dojo, and we get the smirkiest little smirk from the smirkiest little like asshole ever, Matt Murdock, because he knows before anybody else does that it's Luke coming through the door, and that's the cutest little moment too. Like, smirk, it's Luke, and Luke has caught Sawande.
Yes.
See, that's one thing that bums me out. I wish we could have seen that.
Luke just looks so proud in that moment too.
He's so proud, but I wish I could have seen him kick his ass.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it just being like, hey, we got this. We didn't need to see any more fight scenes.
I wanted to see that.
I enjoyed the fight scenes, but we didn't need any more fight scenes.
Yes, we do. We need all the fight scenes. No, I know what you're saying. We didn't need it. Shelby wanted it.
So if you hear dive bombers in the background, I am not actually in a war zone. But I am near an airport, and there's little propeller airplanes that come by, and it sounds like I'm like in a World War II reenactment or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do they actually end up? Danny's like, we own a building. So is that Danny's building, or did they just pick some random spot? I wonder.
The warehouse. It looks exactly like the same warehouse where Hoffman was in Daredevil season 1.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does kind of look like that. I was so
confused as to, just like, but anyways, yeah. And it's a very weird building that, is conveniently a warehouse when they need it, and it's conveniently a little small room when they need it. Yeah, they moved.
Yeah, it looked like some like a theater or something. It was weird. Yeah. It was weird, but it was pretty. It was cool looking.
It was a nice little Defenders hangout. It was a good little hangout place.
So they get Sawande, and he kind of fucks with them all in the head a little bit. It's like, we're going after all the people you care about. Claire and Colleen, which ends up, that's when we see Bakudo, and Bakudo like mind fucks Colleen like for the 500th time of, you're not worthy, but you can be worthy. You can go with me, blah, blah, blah. And Bakudo like, gross, get the fuck out of my face, Bakudo. And he like slices her across the belly, which again, you go back to, why aren't their weapons poisoned, Rhiannon? Why?
No, I'm the one that says it.
I know, that's what I'm saying, Rhiannon. Why? That's
poisoned. Why?
Anyway, so we get Colleen and Claire, and Matt has to go talk to Karen again. This is when we get second conversation with Karen, where she's a little bit colder, like, bitch, I am so over this. Oh my God. Like in the restaurant early on, I was like, well, maybe she's not so anti-Daredevil, but definitely by here, she is over it. And can you blame her? Like, I don't hate Karen Page for being over it. I don't hate Karen Page for wanting to protect, what Matt has and wanting to look out for Matt, and for wanting Matt to go, dude, just put that down. You're going to die. I don't hate her for that. I know a lot of people do. I don't. Because what else I don't know how she's supposed to react. You keep getting, jerked into this, which I guess people could say. At the same time, she puts herself in the middle of a lot of shit. But
Well, and we don't really know what conversations they had. I mean, the diner conversation in the first episode, I kind of feel like maybe there was a conversation like, hey, I'm Daredevil, but I'm quitting. And like,
yes,
what I really
yeah,
need is my friend's support while I'm quitting.
yeah,
And, you know, they seem to approach it all as if he's an alcoholic.
yes,
And for years, I mean, or for, you know, however long, she thought he was an alcoholic. So she sees it as this destructive thing. So I don't see her whininess. I mean, her opposition to it all. I feel like it's more that he's asked her to be that way, almost.
right. And you know, you got to remember, he's still lying to her. It's, you know,
Yeah.
it takes him a while to come around and say, look, this is just me.
Yeah.
So she's still not getting the full truth from him. And, you know, so I don't have hate on for Karen Page. I don't. And again, what kind of friend would she be if she was like, yes, run out there, Matt, and get yourself killed? That's cool.
Spoilers. Yes.
You know, so she's not real happy about all that having to go. But at the same time, she's kind of like, I think there's part of Karen that's always like, yeah, I'm in the middle of it too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So maybe the problem is there's still like, you know, in the figuring ourselves out and figuring each other out and that kind of thing, that they're still both not completely fully honest with each other. And maybe we'll get that eventually one day.
No, I don't think Matt will ever be honest with anybody.
Not today. And Foggy shows up. And Foggy's coming around, though. This is what I like about the change that we see with Foggy at the police station. He's beginning to come around. Like, you know, you'd think he's trying to tell us something, Karen. Like, he's probably not going to stop. And we get our first interaction between Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
And I just love Trisha's reaction.
Yes!
Because Trisha's just like, oh my god.
Holy shit, Daredevil. It's the greatest. Because, well, it was so funny to me because in 1 minute, he leaves Karen and he goes back and has his, meets up with Stick back at the little place, their little hideout. You know, and that's when Stick's like, you need to be the one to lead them. And Matt's like, I'm not a leader. And we go from this conversation to Stick to Matt's Daredevil, and he's helping Jessica Jones. Yay! Yeah. It's great. And that's when we get the, making fun of his outfit. And that's so good. But Trish is just like, and then she gets to the police station. She's like, oh my God, Malcolm, did you know Jessica Jones knows Daredevil? We're like, no, Trish, isn't it the greatest thing ever? We love it so much. Because it didn't feel good for Matt just to be back in the suit. It's like, yay, Matt, put back on the suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally. So everybody's at the police station, yay, and Misty is dumped in the middle of this shit show and doing the best job possible with no information at all.
She is. She is incredibly tolerant for the shit show that she is handed.
She is handed the worst shit show possible and just like deal with it, and she does. We go back and they have Sawande, like Daredevil's got Sawande, and that's when we get Luke and Danny like being like, ah, Daredevil.
Basically, this episode is just Daredevil showing off.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Like Matt being like, look at my costume, look at my batons, look at my cool tricks.
Yeah, look at these. These are my powers in use. I am awesome. I'm one of the most naturally gifted, skilled fucking fighters in the world. Yeah.
And Danny,
I wonder if,
do you think that's
I wonder if
Danny is just kind of like, that Danny is just like, I want to be like him.
I think it's starting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wonder too if this is the moment that they made fun of Charlie about, like throwing the baton and he kept hitting Mike Coulter in the back of the head.
Definitely.
Because Charlie kept insisting that he could do it.
Definitely.
And it's so funny because it's like, I did it. I nailed it. And like, when I was practicing, Vin's like, no, I don't remember that at all. I don't recall that. They made such fun of him. Bless it. And so, yeah, they're sort of arguing around about, what were they even arguing about? They weren't paying attention to Sawande about. I can't remember, and Sawande gets free and grabs little baby puppy Danny Rand and then Stick kills him. Boom.
Yeah, Stick pretty much cuts to the chase. Like, this series would have had to have been 20 episodes long if we hadn't had Stick just like, okay, this
Ending
is who your
shit.
enemy is. Okay, this person's dead now. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, between Jessica and Stick. Like, without the two of them,
Oh, God.
this show would have dragged on forever.
Jessica is all of us, when she finds out they're called the Hand and she's like, no, what are they really called? Like, she just can't get over this, just the stupidity of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So stupid. And that's the end of that, right? Oh, no, wait. Okay. Because also during all this, Elektra, is Matt getting through to her? Is he not? Because we see Elektra on the roof of Matt's building. Because Elektra kind of like runs away from the Hand, runs away from Alexandra.
Yeah.
Gets loose in the city.
I mean, Elektra finds herself. She goes on her little journey of self-discovery. She
It's so good.
And this goes into episode 6, too.
Yeah.
Electra's little journey of self-discovery when she ends up on Matt's roof. And then
so good.
She goes down and takes a little napper time.
Yes.
In bed.
Yes. Oh my God. It was the way that episode ended, though, with her curled up on the bed. If you don't, I'm going to tell you something about Elektra in this whole, like, even in season 2 of Daredevil. Elodie Young plays Elektra in such a way I can never be mad at Elektra. I always understand what Elektra's trying to do.
Yeah.
I feel for Elektra. Especially in the Defenders.
Yeah. And her emotions, I mean, I'm never confused. Like, I never feel confused by Elektra's emotions. Like, I know she's hiding stuff, but
You know why.
Yeah, you know why, and Elodie is just fantastic.
She's a freaking superstar.
Again, Hitman's Bodyguard. You get plenty of Elodie Young. But yeah, Elodie and her Elektra, I feel like it's really genuine to the comics, too.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a great job of changing her story, but leaving her so much the same.
Yeah, I really didn't think when you heard that Elektra was going to be in Defenders, I thought, okay, well they're going to use her in this way and that way, and I didn't think we would get the feelings and the emotion of out of Elektra. I didn't think there was going to be that much to build upon from Daredevil season 2, and oh my God, I was just completely wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
And
but yes,
just having her so quickly. There again, like, as far as the pacing of this, her going to Matt's place so early in the season kind of surprised me and made me wonder if she was going to change teams. Made me wonder.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It did.
Yeah. Instead, she had napper time, and in episode 6, that led to dreamy time.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
Dreamy time I think a lot of people had dreamy time with Elektra.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's nothing. It's just Matt bringing her coffee and going like, look, I know you're awake and, you've been sleeping for hours. And she's just like, because I'm happy being, and he's like, what, back here in New York? And she's like, no, back with you.
Yeah.
And then, she keeps having these little flashes of looking at seeing the Daredevil costume too in the midst of all this. But it's just such, it shows you that she really, though, never felt like she could choose her own life and choose what she wanted. And, it's like, again, it's just played so perfectly. She plays it so perfectly. I did not expect that moment episode 6 is one of my, like, full of moments, and I was like, what?
Yes.
They're giving me this too? So then she goes over to the trunk where she thinks, because that's where she's, you know, in her mind, that's where she saw the Daredevil suit. And of course, we know the Daredevil suit's not in there because Matt's wearing it. But there's little things behind. There's a baton. There's the old boots and probably the old costume. But what does she find?
I love that the old costume was in there, by the way. Like,
yes,
just kind of like that he has it in there as backup, you know. One day
yes, old boots, old everything.
Anyways.
But what else does she find?
His Bible.
It's a very thin Bible. I swear it didn't like dawn on me that it was a Bible.
Totally his Bible.
Maybe, I was like, oh my God, it's brown.
Maybe
great.
It's just the New Testament or something, but it's a Bible. Totally.
Yeah, or just, yeah. Yeah, and she finds the little thing from her funeral, which has to be weird, and where she's buried, and she has to go through so much. Poor Elektra.
Right?
God. So back to our heroes. Oh my God, big moment about to happen. Oh my God.
Yeah,
they had figured. Yeah, wait, hold on. They have figured out that Danny is an actual key. Not a metaphor, a key that opens something. They still don't know what, who, what, da-da-da-da. So I wonder if in that moment Stick was like in his head already prepared to like kill him, you know, in that moment. And then he just sort of goes along with the plan, you know, the group's plan to like, okay, we'll hide him out, blah, blah, blah. Because that leads to Matt and Danny having a confrontation, which is, oh God, I didn't know I needed that either, but I needed that so bad. Yeah. I needed the Matt Danny fight because you really can get to see what Matt can do.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And and then that, you know, that leads, you know, ends with Jessica just really, Danny using the Iron Fist on Luke. And, you know, in the trailer, we all thought that was something to do with the hole or the earthquake. We did not realize that was Danny using the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
When everybody gets blown back. But yeah, they get little Danny, tied up. And they call Matt out. Poor Danny. And they call Matt out on some more of his, like, not telling the whole truth. You know, about fighting the hand with Elektra, because Matt, it's only relevant when he thinks it's relevant Murdoch. Yeah. So he has to come out with that. And Jessica's like, next time you freaking lie to me, I'm going to beat your ass. And if he's not scared, he should really be scared of Jessica. Okay? This bitch just knocked out the Iron Fist. You should be scared. But yeah. So they decide Luke's like, I'll sit with Danny. Because somebody needs to take a punch. And then they go, where, Rhiannon? What did they do?
They go to his apartment where he changes clothes in front of Jessica.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that he sensed at all before he realizes the little card is missing? Do you think he sensed at all that Elektra had been there?
I really
Or do you think her ninja powers?
Yeah, I really don't think so.
Is he too wrapped up in what's going on? Are her ninja powers too strong?
Yeah. I think, you know, like, I think some of his power, I mean, like, if it was the old Elektra smell, he might have noticed it, but I think he's so caught up in so many things. I really don't think he noticed anything until
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And his apartment's in such, like, a mess that, you know. So. Yeah, I think I wonder, so do you think when he finds the card missing that he thinks she's been there, or
he knows
does he just
immediately?
Think so?
Yeah. I think he knows immediately when the card is missing that she's been there.
Oh my God, it's so precious.
And I think in that moment, he probably just, like, took one breath and was like, oh God, yes, that smell, it's here everywhere. I'm such a
and I gotta go.
And I can't say anything to Jessica because, God forbid, we be truthful.
yeah, so they go to the architect's house because that's their last like plan. They really don't know where to go except back to the architect's house and end up talking to the daughter. And Jessica tells a really sweet story about Matt's dad. Oh, Jessica has
Right.
feelings.
She
Jessica,
does.
and it kind of hits Matt in his little like heart parts, you know?
Right?
It's like I have friends.
It's such a cool way for Jessica also to just sort of admit that she gives a shit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, when he confronts her on it later, he catches her Jessica way of, she's just like, I just looked into it because if we're going to trust each other, I need to know about you. And he's like, oh, you're so sweet.
Well,
Like,
one of my favorite Jessica lines is, "You took my case, I took yours." Oh, oh shit. Lee. Ah. It's so perfect. Perfect Jessica. So in talking, they're talking to the daughter, and of course, she brings Matt along because Matt's doing his super secret, like supersonic hearing and everything while he's listening to this girl talk and asking questions, and then it goes to a piano, and you're like, what the fuck? Jessica's face when the piano is brought up is the best. Because she goes from looking at the daughter to looking at Matt, looking at the daughter, looking back at Matt. Where the fuck is he going with this piano? Because the daughter says something like he would just sit at the piano for hours and not play. And you can immediately tell that Matt goes to like tuning in, to the room. And then we get, what do we get, Rhiannon? What everybody wanted that I didn't know everybody wanted.
I wanted it about as much as Jessica. Like, my face and Jessica's face in that moment was like, oh my god. What the fuck are you doing, Murdoch?
Apparently Marco Ramirez reads like my Twitter because I had ran a poll and it happened and everybody wanted this, and I did not know that many people, and I wonder if that many people have read Guardian Devil, because I want to think that's the only time that it even happens in the comic of Matt playing the piano, but I did not know everybody wanted this.
Yeah.
I didn't know how bad I wanted it till it happened.
But he does. And I don't think he's doing it to show off his ability to play his own theme song.
No. Even my nephew was like, why didn't they let him finish playing the song? I just want to hear him play the song. It's a great song. But yeah, so it does have a purpose. It's not just to make all the fangirls swoon.
And I like that. That's the whole piano scene. I would have just been like, oh my god, that was so useless. Except it wasn't useless at all. He totally knew that was there. He totally needed a reason to go to it.
Yes, and stumble around. That's the best too. When he's like kind of stumbling. But yeah, so they find the plans and the blueprints, and architect guy was gonna blow up everything. So yay!
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Like, meanwhile, Misty's still dealing with all her shit at the police station. Alexandra does figure out that Elektra is in the cemetery and goes to Elektra and confesses to her that she's dying. And I don't remember what episode, it must be in 5 or 6, where Alexandra has the conversation with Madame Gao. And I love Madame Gao. How much do we still love Madame Gao?
Oh my god.
Oh. And Madame Gao's like, because they pretty much all admit that they have tried to kill each other at some point over these hundreds of years that they've all been alive. And, Madame Gao's like, the past is the past. But Alexandra, in that moment, kind of like admits that she was tired of going through this life alone. And for a moment, you're like, oh, Alexandra, I get it. Because they do show her in a lot of times where she does seem very lonely when she's listening to her music. And you're like, that's got to be a lonely life. Yeah, you live forever, but damn, you have to watch people die.
I've read enough vampire novels that I'm like, yeah, so.
So she confesses everything and, tells Elektra, like, this is what we have to get. We have to get this substance. If not, we'll both die.
Yeah.
And, we got to talk about Luke and Danny too. because while Danny's tied up and he wakes up and he's struggling, and him and Luke have while Jessica and Matt are having all the feelsy moments, Luke and Danny are having their own feelsy moments.
Right? Nothing like tying your new best friend to a chair and then discussing your feelings.
Stick's over there like.
And that is exactly who I don't want overhearing when I'm having conversation like this. Like,
and it's so perfect. Because you are kind of over there going, I'm about like, what is he doing? What is Stick doing? It could be nothing. He could be killing the entire planet.
Right. I would not have been surprised if he opened a portal to Kunlun right there. Right. From incense and bullshit.
So Danny's over there, explaining what Stick's doing and whatever. And, and Luke explodes up like, I'm not all this mystic stuff. And then I love it. It's not mystic stuff. Oh my God. It's another way of looking at things. It's a different perspective. And, and Luke's like, okay, whatever. Why don't you tell me again how you punched a dragon and got your magic hand? And, oh my God, and Danny goes right into telling the story.
I know. Just like, I've been dying for somebody to want me to tell the story.
And then, Luke, laughs at him again, dude, no, I was joking. And then Danny's face in that moment goes from, oh. And then Luke knows he hurt his feelings, and Luke, being Luke, cannot stand to have hurt somebody's feelings. Goes, dude, okay. Okay, just tell me. Whatever. Must have hurt. Yeah, man, it did. And then they go to talking about, Luke's like, I got shot in the face by Jessica, hit with a rocket launcher, Yeah. It's the first real, frenzy, oh my God moment.
Yeah.
And then Luke, and then Danny's like, what happened between you and Jessica? Because there's also so many moments in the show. If you don't leave this, won't Luke and Jessica back together? They belong together, Rhiannon. They belong together.
Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing how they proceed with that. How they do that in season 2.
Or 3 or 4 or 8.
Of their own shows.
Defenders.
Not Defenders.
So then, we have more feelsy moments between Matt and Jessica, like we talked about. I took you took my case, I took yours, and they're on their way back. And this is when Stick is he's lit that stuff, and Luke and what is this? And Stick tells some prison story that you don't know if it's true or not at all.
I'm guessing it's probably true. I think it's
true.
You think
it is?
I do.
I think it's the truth.
I think it fits the Stick backstory well for him to have been in prison for 10 years or something.
And he puts Luke to sleep, son. Don't get Stick's all it helps me relax and meditate. Boom.
Yeah.
Luke's out.
Which, thank you, Stick, for being the first person to actually try to poison Luke Cage.
Yeah.
It's the obvious choice for knocking him out. Everybody else is trying to glow their fist and hit him harder, or
shoot him more.
Shoot him with bigger bullets and all of that. Just make some fucking poisonous gas. Waft it toward him. Knock him right out. Thank you, Stick. Rest in peace.
So I thought for a second, until I realized, okay, this is Stick. I thought for a second he's going to untie Danny, and him and Danny are going to face the hand alone. That's what I thought. I was like, I know. I was so naive.
When Stick was there's a third option, I was racked my brain for half a second. I was like, option. Ooh, he wants Danny dead.
Oh, can't kill Puppy Rand. No. Yeah. And poor Danny, he still can't control the fist. Not really. He can't really get it charged because he's hungry.
True.
He hasn't ate enough.
True.
He hasn't ate enough. He's like a diabetic. I think he needs a bunch of meals a bunch of times a day to keep the fist charged up.
Yeah.
So
he
he
needs a little medical alert bracelet saying, if not fighting well, give me a bag of M&Ms.
Yeah, feed me. So Matt senses something's wrong. I can't remember what he hears, and they go tearing back to to the building. Elektra somehow finds this place with her Electra powers. And so about the time that Stick is about to take Danny out, Elektra comes crashing through. And Danny's like, "No, Stick, watch out!" And then Danny passes out from the same, like, stuff. And Stick and Elektra fight at the same time. Matt and Jessica sort of crash back in. And what happens, Rhiannon? What happens?
I don't remember. I just remember they all end up unconscious.
Stick dies!
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she Matt's screaming at her, "No, no," and we get our first, like, "Hello, Matthew," or whatever. She calls him Matthew. "Good to see you, Matthew."
Yeah.
So she totally knows who he is now. Yeah, and they all end up, like, she knocks them all out, and the gas makes them all, like, super sleepy, super knocked out, and she slings Puppy Ray and Danny Doggy Ran over her shoulder and leaps out of a window. If that's not, like...
It was pretty badass.
That was pretty badass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But when she's about to jump out the window, she turns and gives one last look to, like, Matt.
Right.
And while that's going on, what's the guy's name? The dude that starts with an M. Marakumi? Somebody. Anyway, the guy that always speaks Japanese.
Yeah.
Him has made up his mind. He's going to take Alexandra out.
Oh,
he's had enough. He's the only one through the whole thing that talks any sense, even though it's in Japanese. Like, he's the only one speaking any sense. Like, this is just... Because he goes back and he tells the group, like, they got help now. Daredevil's here. And they're all like, "No, Daredevil? What?"
And, like, is his special vampire skill that he can walk on the bottom of the sea because he got, like, that bottle of champagne from a shipwreck?
I don't know.
Like, that's an actual vampire power there. Like, just walking in the bottom of the sea. That's Twilight vampire power. Like, he gets the special champagne.
He gets the special champagne that he pops open, and he pretty much admits it, like, "Look, bitch, I never liked you. I never wanted to leave Kunlun with you. I can't stand you. You're making a mess of everything." He puts on his little gloves. "You're going to die tonight." And Elektra comes dragging in the Iron Fist. And plans change. Wait a minute. We have the Iron Fist now. We have what we needed. And they strap him, like, to the thing like Hannibal. They wheel him around like Hannibal Lecter. And... poor Danny, he's also still hungry and weak and sort of drugged, so there's no, like, Iron Fist happening at all during any of this. And Alexandra goes making her speech of, I don't even know what she said at this point. Like, "We got him, da-da-da-da-da, and y'all gonna follow me, and you're gonna kill Luke Cage, you're gonna kill Jessica Jones, and kill the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, whatever his name is." Oh my fucking God.
Right?
And I got chills.
Because his name is Matthew.
Matthew. Bye, Alexandra. And for good measure, she chops her head off immediately. And Electra's like, yeah. Yeah, and in case you, didn't get, okay, his name is Matthew. Well, my name is Electra Nachos. And you work for me now. Any questions? And she's covered in blood. And it's the most greatest thing ever.
Yes. And I thought I really, really was happy at this point.
I was episode 6 left me so happy.
Yes. And my problem was, so I woke up at 3 a.m. and binged, and I got into episode 6, and, like, the key is to stop somewhere midway in an episode, because they all end at a very exciting point. So I stopped somewhere in the episode, and I went to work, and I somewhat checked Twitter. I mean, I was a little bit ahead, because I had already seen episode 1, so Twitter was safe for a little while. And then all of a sudden, Twitter was like, "Oh my god, episode 6! Oh my god, episode 6! And I was like, something really big's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stopped at the wrong place.
Yeah. And I watched it. I did good. I stayed away from all that and getting spoiled on anything. And I watched 6, like, I think Friday night. And I was just like, what? And yeah, and like I said, it was a good stopping point then, though. You could stop and go, because everything changed at that moment.
Yeah.
So, but were you sad that they killed off Sigourney Weaver, or?
So, I mean, I immediately, I was like, oh my God, they did a Cottonmouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did it in Luke Cage. I didn't enjoy it in Luke Cage. I felt there was so much hype for Sigourney in the show that it just seemed like a waste. I didn't enjoy her character. I mean, now that I know that was all there was to her character, she was very underwhelming. And I realize part of it is that we've theorized for a year.
Yes. Yeah.
What her character could be and what all, going into this mythical realm. I was expecting her to be possessed by demons or, a shapeshifter or something like that. And then it's just like she's an old woman that was dying and
didn't want to be alone.
And had an issue with claiming Elektra as her child, and Elektra didn't want to be nobody's child.
Yes, Elektra, none of that shit anymore. She's tired of being owned and told what to do.
Yeah.
It was very sad. She ends up being it's a very sad story, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but very basic. I mean, I had higher expectations. Now, that moment where Elektra was like, you work for me? I was like, okay, I'm down for this.
Yeah.
I'm down for Elodie being the big bad. I'm down for Elektra coming and just changing this plan. But then she really just kind of continues with Sigourney's plan. And we'll talk about that next time. But
yeah, I just want to sort of clarify in case anybody who hasn't watched it like a shit ton of times, like I have, what they actually need is this. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
What they've identified by the end of episode 6 is that there's a door and they need the Iron Fist to open it.
Right? Yeah. So I guess we can explain more about what the Hand's deal was. I guess probably when we talk about 7 and 8, in case anybody didn't understand what they were trying to do.
I mean, but episode 6 is just like, we need a substance. We need a substance. It'll open this door.
Yeah, we need the key. Iron Fist is the key.
But the key will get us through the door to get the substance that we need for eternal life. Yeah, as long as nobody chops off our heads or burns us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Or the she said something so interesting at the cemetery when she says, she calls it the organism. Sometimes the organism, I don't know, and I was like, she makes it sound like there's some kind of alien being inside of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they want to live forever. I don't know that I would want to live forever. I don't know that that's like the ultimate thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they try. It feels like, some of Alexandra's argument is we're on the side of life. We're trying to spread life, and it's not like they're using their substance to save, children with cancer.
No.
There's nothing in this whole argument that has made it seem like a humanitarian effort. Now, granted, they've gone through a lot of the substance. I mean, it's like they've used the substance to continue to revive their armies so that they continue to fight for more of the substance so that they can continue to revive their armies so that they can, I mean, it's not, I could get the whole argument, and I feel like there was a lot put there, we are the good guys. We are the ones for life. But I mean, they didn't show anything. I mean, for all we know at this point, they've revived Harold Meacham, Nobu,
right.
And some kids that did the hospital fight scene. I'm not totally sold on them being the side for life.
Yeah, I don't know if the kids from the hospital, if they were part of, I don't know what, they really didn't answer.
And they had autopsy scars.
Yeah, but then they also used, that was the ninjas. That was the ninjas that were climbing up the building. I'm talking about the kids were actually the people that were they used them as farms, incubators to incubate the substance that has to go through these people. I don't know. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, we didn't get any clarification on that, but whatever. Yeah. They just bottom line, want to live forever.
Yeah.
Need this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yay. Yay hand.
Yay the hand. So at this point, I was very happy with the series, though. I mean, I wasn't.
Electra.
Yeah.
Who's the superstar of episodes 4, 5, and 6?
I mean,
Not. Is that what we? Yeah, 4, 5, and 6.
do we have
Stick?
One for each?
Stick, maybe of episode 4. Stick or Jessica? I'm trying to think. Jessica does come back with the car.
Stick was pretty important in 4.
Number 5, I'm going to go with Misty Knight because she had to put up with all that stupid bullshit of bringing everybody to the police station.
5, I'm almost going with Daredevil. It was really Daredevil's time to shine.
It was. And 6,
Melody. I mean, Electra.
I love her so much.
Electra. I mean, she got Matt Murdock to bring her coffee in her dreams, and then she went out and ruled the world.
God, that's the only coffee we... That was just like a tease now. I realize that. It was just a tease.
And rewatching, like, I feel like the writers in Matt Murdock's world brought up coffee so many times just to rub in that he never gets coffee like Luke Cage gets coffee.
Never.
Never.
Do you think now, do you think that somebody asked me, could Matt see in her dream?
No.
I didn't think so either, but I mean, I didn't know if somebody else had saw that a different way.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But I was like, I didn't think about it. I mean, I guess, hey, remember Covert Affairs? I mean, all he did was drive the Corvette, so.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think it was irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered, but I was like, interesting.
Yeah. So next time we will talk about 7 and 8.
And then probably like recap all the fucking top 100 things we loved.
Yeah. And then we can talk about where it's going from there and where it could go from there and where it's going from there. And we'll just go ahead and write, Daredevil season 3.
Yeah.
Iron Fist season 2, we'll probably write, all the seasons. So Marvel doesn't need to worry about that. Somebody just go ahead and let Jeff Loeb know we're on top of it.
I'm going to make sure to share all my things on Twitter, all the things I want, because it seems to happen. So.
Right. Obviously they are listening to you, Shelby.
Obviously. Or our podcast. I don't know.
They're listening to our podcast. They're listening to you. We know all of the accounts follow you. Like, you are the most... like, the official Marvel accounts reply to you more than anybody.
Oh, God, yes. Feed into my delusions. Feed into me. Yeah.
Like, they mock me for my inability to count. But...
The people who run those accounts, I don't know if it's one person, I don't know if it's a group of them, are the greatest. Those accounts are the greatest.
I feel like I missed a lifetime opportunity because when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I met the Marvel Netflix PR people.
Oh, really?
And in the moment, yeah, I didn't tell you about that.
I don't know if you told me about, like, meeting them specifically.
Yeah, them specifically. So, like, I was hanging out when I got to do that Netflix experience thing. Like, I just hung out there way longer than any other member of the press. And there was one part of it that you had to wait through a line and, just striking up conversation. And a woman that was there, she was like, oh, yeah, I'm the Marvel Netflix PR rep. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, we need to exchange information.
Yeah.
I'm talking to her. And then when we got out of what we were doing, there were 2 other people. And she was like, yeah, this is the rest of my team. And hours later, I was like, oh, my God. I bet they run the Twitter accounts.
Oh, so good.
And I hate myself for not having that thought while they were right there. I mean, like, I would have gotten a selfie with them because if they are the people behind the Twitter accounts, that's amazing. So, anyways, I may or may not have met the people behind the Netflix Twitter accounts.
Well, I wish you'd meet the people behind the Punisher account so the Punisher people can give us, like, a date, or you could punch them in the face. One or the other.
Maybe at New York Comic Con. Maybe that can be our goal of New York Comic Con. Find the Punisher people and punch them in the face.
Punch them in the face, because they did give us, like, supposedly all 13 episode titles this week in Morse code.
Yeah.
But no date. Still no date.
Have you watched it scene by scene, frame by frame, to see if the date is hidden there like it was the Defenders?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm like, I'm kind of over it at this point because I'm like, there's only so many days it can be, people. Like, I don't know why they're taking away this hype train from us. Why? Because I want to hype it. And the way they're doing it is like killing the hype.
Well, and that's like, I saw somebody on Twitter say, what if they dropped it without, what if they're just planning to drop it and not give us a date?
That could be too. That could be very Punisher-like.
Yeah. Oh, you know what would be funny is if, like, they had hyped the hell out of Stranger Things and, like, you get 10 minutes of Stranger Things and then Frank just kills them all.
No, not my Stranger Things kids. Can it be somebody else?
Or Netflix have some other show that they've hyped the hell out of, like a new show, and just like 10 minutes of it, and then it really is just Frank Castle coming and killing everybody, and it's the Punisher.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's crazy. We all think November. It's gonna be funny when they push it back to like Christmas.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the Marvel News Desk, just like Punisher with Grandma.
I really wish it was like we talked about Black Friday. I really, really wish that's what it. Because oh god, that would be so perfect. No work, can watch it with my sister. That'd be the best. Yeah. But I don't know if they'll do it around Thanksgiving, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that's very likely. I mean, the date that leaked was November 14th, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah, don't do it on a Tuesday. Fuck that shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep on doing it on a Friday. Yeah. So I figured they didn't do it last week because they didn't want to take away from Inhumans stuff for whatever reason, but I feel like we might get it this week.
In full disclosure, I may not upload this. Like it might be old news by the time I get this uploaded.
You can, breaking news, Punisher date released.
Yeah. And, like, you'll get to this part of the podcast and you'll be like, why are they still talking about this? Like, we've known the date for 2 weeks now. No. I'll get this up faster.
Whatever. All right, so
okay.
that's
all for now. We'll be back later to talk about episodes 7 and 8.
Whoop whoop.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.